we are. Okay. It's just my restream. Alright, give me a second and then I'll have chat up. I can only see Twitch chat right now. 1 second. That token keeps expiring. Oh boy. Are we good on everything else, or is it just Twitch right now? Sorry guys, give me a second and I'll have this figured out. Here we go, that should be good. Okay, we have 2 out of 3. I guess. Uh-oh. I'm gonna try restarting it again. I don't know if the chat is working. Okay. Alright, there we go. Okay. Yes, we're working now. We're good. Hi Jason, hi effects. Okay, let's see if I guess it's just not working on Facebook. Interesting. I guess Facebook's not streaming it. My mic is kind of quiet. Let's see. I can turn the desktop audio down, that's for sure. There we go. That should be better. Okay, what on earth? I guess I gotta tell the Pixel crew that. Interesting. Hey Baja, how are you doing? Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. If anybody wants to watch this, it's not going to be on Facebook. So, yeah. All right. So, anyways, hi guys. How are you doing? My name is Ashley Adams. I'm a character and creature concept artist and also a character artist in general. I do both, you know, the sculpting aspects and the modeling aspects of character creation and creature creation. Basically, this was last stream's thing that we just came up with. It's just kind of a for funsy sketch session. It's just really it is just for fun in general. Right now I'm like half talking to Pixo Kyle just to try and figure out if I can get this onto Facebook as well. But anyways, if you have any questions as I'm doing stuff, like feel free to ask me. If you want to sculpt along, that's also cool. There is a 45-day free trial that Pixelogic offers for anybody who wants to try ZBrush. You can get that over on the Pixelogic site. And yeah, so basically we're just going to be starting with a sphere like so, and we're just going to kind of go from there and just kind of figure out what kind of shapes we want, what it's going to be as we go, right? Like we don't have any ideas starting off. We don't have any references up or anything like that. Now, I do want to like stress before I start this, like I do with every single one of my streams, is if you want to learn, if you want your sculpts and your artwork in general to be better, then of course you have to use reference. This is just sort of something to let go, let loose, and have fun for a little bit. It's just like a little exercise, just a you know, throw paint at a canvas kind of thing, right? All right. Okay, I'm finding this music a little loud on my end. Let me just lower that a bit. There we go. I think that'll be better. Should be better. You can't hear anything? Is my mic not close enough to my face? Yeah, my music was way too loud in my ears. How would I go about doing open mouth with saliva dripping? Just curious. Well, I actually do that a lot. I usually actually sculpt my creatures with their mouths closed. And then if I want to open their, like a mouth, then I would place the gizmo. What I mean by the gizmo is this thing. I would place the gizmo at the jaw hinge, and then I would mask off everything that isn't the lower jaw, and then I would just kind of like rotate it on the jaw hinge. And then I would take the Sculptris Pro mode, which I actually have Sculptris Pro mapped to the A key on my keyboard because I go in and out of it so frequently. That have it mapped to the A key. So then I would just kind of like carve away on the inside of the mouth at that point, because then you know that like the top and the bottom, they kind of work together anyways. And then after that, saliva, any kind of saliva that I do, I usually do that with the curve brush, curve tube, which is right here, curve tube. So I would create saliva with those. Okay. Okay, we're live on Facebook now too. Okay, cool, sweet. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering why that wasn't going live. I was getting all like, what is happening? Why is everything broken? But we're good now. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, you don't hear any music. Oh, that's because the desktop audio is like super low on this. Turn it up just a little bit. I just don't want it to like be blaring in my ear so I can't hear anything. Hi, Snipex! Hey, Mitsu! Oh, you're throwing bits to charity? Cool. Nice. That's awesome. Cool. Also, how are you doing, only kinda sorta? Okay, so we're gonna start sculpting now. Yeah, so again, just kind of like grabbing some random shapes. If you want to ask me questions as I'm doing this, please do so. And I don't really like know what I'm gonna be doing either. I'll probably just start you know, making random shapes happen here, and I like to use the artifacts that happen from the low res in the Dynamesh as well. Hanging out here with your cat? Sick. Awesome. Monty's hanging out behind me on the floor. Good evening, Rabul. How are you doing? Hi, Harish. How are you guys? How's it going? You already know this ahead. Yeah, it's ahead of some kind. Like I just don't really like have anything in my head as I start these things. That's sort of like what I was trying to say. It's like maybe it starts as a head, but I just don't really like have anything in my head about what it's going to be at the end. Actually. Recommendations on books or tutorials that helped me with sculpting. Personally, like, I don't have anything that I can like say like is like my go-to thing like when I was learning exactly, but I can tell you that there are, well, first of all, like there's like a ton of other really amazing artists like on Pixelogic that you could follow, and some of them release their own tutorials and things like that. Like I know Shane has like an entire course of his own. Danny Mac used to stream here. He's got a whole YouTube channel as well. You know, I don't really know exactly like what I could send you. Maybe like anatomy books, for example. There's Anatomy for Sculptors. Obviously that one's like amazing. Yeah, I guess like that one in particular would probably help you a lot if you're looking to do like creature character stuff, is Anatomy for Sculptors. I'd also say anything that can help you with figure drawing, so like gestural things like Force, like it's called like Force or something like that. It's a book. I don't know. I can't get it off the top of my head right now. Yeah, Michael Pavlovich is also a really good one if you want to look up like, you know, quick tutorials and like him just like running through like basically like everything. He's also got a like substance painter tutorial as well for skin. I think I saw that one, which is pretty cool. And then there's obviously the Z Classroom stuff as well that is just like incredibly useful. So definitely check out Z Classroom if you want to learn how to use ZBrush in general. Hello from Brazil. Hi, Robson. Hello again, Munir. Hey, Redrag. How you doing? Prashan, Daydreamer. Hello, Stifler. No music? Oh, it's there. It's just like, it must be like really quiet for you guys. Here, wait, let's see if... Yeah, it must be like really quiet for you guys here. Ooh. There we go. She's in a good mood because she caught some field mice. Aw, good kitty. Good kitty. It's so loud now. Oh, please. Oh, please. ZBrush guides, yep. Like I said, like, you know, there's like lots of stuff. I don't have stuff that can come off the top of my head, but I'm sure like chat will help you out with a lot of that. Hey Willard, I'm doing good. Doing good. I think I'm gonna be getting sick soon. You know, like that feeling, like, you know, with colds, when it's like the day before you know you're gonna get sick. It's like that, just like that off feeling, that like feeling of like, yeah, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna be getting a cold. That's basically what I'm feeling right now. So I'm a little bit like tired, but still in the mood to sculpt. But I'll probably be sick tomorrow. And you take NyQuil and rest for 24 hours. I hate NyQuil. I hate it. I think I hate Dayquil more though. Like, I really don't like those. They make me feel awful. With my devil statue. Which devil statue? Which devil statue are you talking about? I've made quite a few devils. Demons. I think, like, in general, this would be, like, really cool if we just take it from here and then whoosh. I'm gonna put a back face mask on this so that doesn't happen. Back face masking will usually solve a lot of, like, you know, your problems that you might have. Here, I'll just show you. So if you're using clay buildup and you're working on like one side of a mesh, like let's say like right here, and it starts doing that, that's because you don't have like a, you know, a back face mask on, and it's pulling from both sides of the sculpt based on the fall off of your brush. So what you can do is you go into the brush menu, and I know like you can't really like see this here. Hold on, put it over here. Can you see that? Yeah, you can kind of see it over here. So you can go into your brush menu and then go down to your auto masking. And then there's this thing right here called back face masking, and it's very, very useful because once you enable it, you put that on, then it doesn't pull from the other side based on your fall off or anything. It just kind of masks the opposite side that you're working on, and you can kind of like just add thickness to whatever you want. So that's really nice, but you have to, like, if you want it on multiple brushes, it doesn't stay activated for all of your brushes, so make sure that you're like enabling it and disabling it per brush that you want to use it with. Like Demon Flash. Yeah, I see it. It's because of these things. Nice. The advanced tools, yeah. Oh, I've been taking vitamin C. It's just my boyfriend Eric, he came back from LA recently and brought back all of the American sicknesses with him that live on airplanes. and he's just spreading his germs all over the house, and I'm just like, well, when you live with a sick person, it's kind of hard not to also get sick. How to prepare a demo reel for texturing? You mean how do you do a texturing demo reel? I would do it with texture sheets. Like, I would show off your texture stuff with like, you know, each individual pass. So you could do like a normal maps pass, like, you know, a bump pass basically. So any displacement maps, if you were using those, any like height maps in general, your normals. You could also do, you know, your diffuse, like your albedo. You could then, you know, whatever maps that you were using, just do a pass of that, show that rendered. But I would do it with sheets as well, like, so not just like a render turnaround, but I would actually like do it in let's see if I can find an example. Like here, this person did like a really good, this is like a really good example of like just showing off. Oh wait, you can't even see that, hold on. A really good example of like showing off this person's like, you know, their maps with the character and stuff, so you can do things like that. And you don't even need to like have it all laid out like that either. You could just do like, you know, like little cuts that shows your UV layout, shows that you know how to properly input maps. American sicknesses, yeah, it was spread, it's spread. Hey Mario, how are you? Could I explain Dynamesh, please? Okay, so I'm not like, I can't explain it in like a technical, like I'm not great at that. But what it basically does, and I'm gonna Dynamesh this in a bit, but I'll do it now. Hold on. Okay, so basically what it does is you can see the geometry right now. This is just the base geometry from a sphere. Like, it's very messy. It's like nothing's really going on. But when you click Dynamesh, what it's going to do in essence, without using a whole bunch of wacky technical terms, because I'm not good at that, is it's going to redistribute a set number of polygons to the surface of this object. And so right now my resolution is at 128. 128 is like, it's kind of like an arbitrary resolution in ZBrush. It's not really like, I can't tell you, oh, you should be Dynameshing at 128 or you should be Dynameshing at like 364 or whatever. Like, I can't tell you an exact number to Dynamesh at. It depends on the size of your model inside of you know, the scene in ZBrush, or not scene, but like inside of ZBrush. So I would, like, the way that I deal with that though is I just kind of like Dynamesh it and see if it's like a good enough resolution. And if it isn't, then you can just Control Z and then adjust that to a higher resolution, Dynamesh again, and then, you know, you'll get a better result. And so basically you can see that it redistributes polygons based on the resolution that you are selecting here. If you say something pretty high, then you get like a lot of resolution. It maintains the details and things like that. But now you can sculpt on it and it won't be gross because you have more resolution, basically. But it's not really like, it's not resolution that you would use in your final model though, right? Like, this isn't like retopologizing for you. This is just sort of adding more resolution where you need it. Yeah, UV and texture passes displayed like that, just perfect. Yeah, it's very important that you display, if you're trying to create a, like, you know, showing off your textures and stuff like that, that you like kind of lay them all out. Hi Octo, how are you doing? Say your name. Mario Garcia? Wacky terms like triplanar quadrilateral dynamic projection. I mean, like, again, like, I don't want to make myself look more like a idiot than I need to, so that's why I don't. Sometimes you use it, but the resolution get messy. Why is that happening? With Dynamesh, there's a lot of reasons. You would have to tell me what kind of messiness you're experiencing, because there are a lot of different things that can happen when you're Dynameshing. You can get holes. You can get stuff that just kind of like flies off into outer space. But if you have a relatively clean Dynamesh going on, like, you know, you're a clean, messy mesh. Okay, wow, this isn't making any sense. If you have a, what's it called? If your model is without errors before you start Dynameshing, then you're gonna be good. To be honest, I don't really have a dream job. I just want to, I guess, like, in general, just creating cool art. Like, as long as I'm making stuff and, you know, I enjoy what I'm making, then I'm happy. Chances of doing a robot? There's lots of other artists that do hard surface on Pixologic. how to do tendons effectively. So what you see me doing here with, so you might, I guess I can't keep my tea on my tablet as I draw. What you see me doing here with Dynamesh, or with the low res, is pulling all of this kind of stuff to the side and stuff like that, and just sort of like using the low res geo to create a sort of flow and form to the muscles and tendons of the neck right here. And when I Dynamesh it, there will be a thickness to all of this, and it will kind of like, it will lend itself to that feeling of a tendon, or, you know, a underlying muscle structure of some kind that, of course, after, you know, a session like this of just like having fun and things, you could always look up actual anatomy and, you know, make that a little bit stronger so it didn't look so ridiculous, but it does give a very nice stretching feeling. So I'm gonna be Dynameshing so you can see, put that like, yes, a little bit high, so you can see right here that it's created some of these like things right here. I usually smooth it out just a bit, and then there's stuff to kind of like work with, and you can take, you know, the inflate brush and just kind of like start sculpting some sort of like tension. Yeah, that's essentially what I like to do when it comes to tendons. Do I have a modeling reel? A recruiter at Blue Sky told you that they only take reels, no stills. That's very interesting. I think that that is actually very interesting that they would say that. I mean, okay, so the reason that they probably say something like that because they do receive so many applications that they want to see one, you know, people who are really, really dedicated to making sure that they do get a job and they're not just like sending like willy-nilly whatever. They also want to make sure that when they're seeing your models in a turnaround, like a high resolution turnaround, they can make they can like spot a mistake, right? Like they can see that. Whereas a still, you have the ability to kind of like hide that if you want to, and I guess maybe they're trying to see if you actually know what you're doing, right? And you're not like hiding anything from them. They probably have a very good reason as to why they only accept reels. Another one is like they want to see what you've done professionally. So if it's Blue Sky and they're looking for senior jobs, of course they're going to want to see your sizzle reel of past, you know, your past experience. So that's another one that it could be. Personally, I don't have an up-to-date reel at all. I have so many of like these kinds of streams online. If anybody wants to know if I'm capable of sculpting, you literally just have to look something like this up and that's like good enough. I'm a freelance artist though. I'm not looking particularly for an in-house job like that at the moment, but if I was, then I would definitely put something together that was a little bit more comprehensive and not all over the place. But if somebody wanted to come to me for freelance work, there's plenty of my work already out there. So me as an example is not exactly the best thing. But if you're a student and you're looking for a job at somewhere like, you know, Blue Sky, then yeah, I can understand why they would want a reel, because they want to see if you're trying to hide anything from them, because they get a lot of applicants. They don't want to mess around. You get holes when you Dynamesh. Okay, so what you do when you get holes when you Dynamesh is what's happening are the two polygons are basically intersecting. So there's like basically you know, Dynamesh doesn't know how to interpret that as anything other than, okay, well then it's just going to be either a flat plane area, or it's not going to have anything at all because it's been intersecting. So if it's not making any sense, then what you want to do is inflate that area so that there isn't, like, you know, lamina faces, I think that's how you say it. And it actually, like, there is some sort of like substance in between two of these the surfaces. Again, I'm not very good at explaining things technically because I can't remember technical terms for the life of me, but I'm hoping that this is coming across a little bit in a bit of an understandable way. Here, hold on. How do I... Maybe I can represent it with... I have any paper? Ooh. Okay. We'll take... Alright, so pretend this fidget spinner with Drake's face on it is one side. And then we can pretend that my phone right here is another side. So this would be the top face, and the normal would be facing upwards, and then this one is the bottom face, and there's thickness here, and the normal is facing down this way. Now, if your geometry decides to do something wacky like this, right? And it just starts, like, you know, the normal's facing down here and the normal's like up here and like weird, and it's like intersecting and it's kind of like all over the place and there's no thickness there, proper thickness, then Dynamesh will probably create a hole because it doesn't know what else it should be doing there, and it's kind of like an error. So yeah, use the inflate tool, usually solves things like that. Hey Sneak, how are you doing? Harder to make super realistic portrait or an entire AAA game character. I don't think, okay, so yeah, they are different things. Like, I would say that each one has its own different struggles, right? Like, if you're trying to make a super realistic portrait, are you starting from a scan or are you starting from scratch? If you're making an entire AAA game character, what kind of a style is it in? Is it cartoony? Do you have a concept to go off of? Are you also working from a scan? There's so many different things to consider when comparing the two that I can't really say there's an easier one versus the other one. It also comes down to what kind of experiences you have as an artist. If you're more experienced with super realistic stuff, you're not going to find it as hard to do something like that as it is going to be for you to do something you're not experienced in, such as you know, such as like a super cartoony thing, or, you know, I don't know, I'm just taking two completely opposite things, right? So if you don't have the experience in doing it, of course it's going to feel like it's harder, but saying that, like, you know, the two it's like comparing different styles, right? Like, you can't say one is easier to do than the other. It's just, what are you more experienced with? Sorry. A creature with precious stones. Nice. Yeah, I have barely done anything with this. Warframe? Oh, sick. Corkin. Sorry, I'm catching up with chat right now. You shared your work to ZBrush Artworks? Oh, okay. Oh my god, calling me a hairy lady. Alright. That's gross, dude. I don't want to roast a raccoon for you. I'm close enough to Dynamesh, you think it's intersecting? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Non-manifold. Yeah, non-manifold or lamina faces, right? Is it lamina? Lamina? I think it's lamina. Hold on. Lamina. I always fuck lamina faces. Yeah, lamina faces. There it is. Lamina faces. Blech. Lamina faces share all of their edges. There we go. And that's usually where you get like holes, is because like lamina faces are like it's happening, and then it kind of like happens in like a border around a certain area, and then it's like all like intersected in the center, and that intersected part is usually where you get that hole. And then at the sides, it's like if you smooth it out, it's like it still doesn't like turn into a perfect hole or anything. It's like got like these bits that are like sticking out and sharp and stuff like that. That's because lamina faces. You could use ZRemesher as a base, yes. Hearing me pronounce AAA as AAA makes me sound super Canadian. Well, I am Canadian. She gets scared of how companies use 3D scans for modeling sometimes. Like, you heavily inspire me to get into it, but you're scared of that, to be honest. I'm not scared of that. Like, why would you ever be scared of that? Nothing can replace art. Like, I don't believe that AI can, like, fully, at least not for a very long time, replace creativity. I'm sure in the future, like 50, 100 years from now, AI will be able to be more creative than the normal human or whatever. They'll, like, come up with some crazy, like, algorithm, and then, like, what's even the point of art anymore? But until that happens, like, I don't, like, whatever. And even if, you know, a scan happens, scans are not... They're not 100% accurate, and there's like edits that you're gonna want to make as well, like for film and games. So there's always work for you until that AI comes out. That's just like more creative than a normal human brain. Yeah, I finished these all in one stream, all these sketches. Oh, the cartoon ones in the last stream? Oh, cool, thanks. Yeah, that's I do a lot of cartoon stuff as well. Oh, a 3-stage interview process. That's tough. That's tough. I hope you get through it. You're Canadian whenever you say out. Why? Do I actually have a Canadian accent? I've never been able to tell. Aren't I an AI? Oh yeah, that's right, I'm a floating head. I'm a floating head. So anyone can guess kind of like what I'm trying to do here in like a really weird, messed up kind of way. Props. don't know if it'll actually work or if it even makes sense. I'm not putting any red wax anywhere. So if you want red wax, you open up ZBrush and you do that yourself. You can't ever guess what it is I'm trying to do until it's finished. Yeah, I figured. I figured. It's because I'm so messy. I'm just very, very messy. Yeah. I'm gonna, like, put in an arm. Oh! Big boy. See, the thing is, like, you know, using the IMM stuff, or, you know, kitbashing, it's all good. Like, especially when you're doing concept stuff, you just need to have an actual understanding of how anatomy works. Otherwise, you're gonna be cheating yourself. So when I do stuff like this, it's not like I'm just kind of like putting it in and leaving it as is, and then just kind of subdividing a whole bunch. You're gonna want to change it. You're gonna want to make it work for your concept. Otherwise, it's gonna look very, very jarring. And that's something that I see a lot of, is you know, people will find a you know, a kit online. They'll buy like a Kitbash kit online, and then they will simply like put things in, but not actually do anything, like change anything, and it'll just look like really jarring. So the whole thing is to like actually make it work with your sculpt, integrate it together. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. Oops, that's why. Because the thing is, like, there is no, like, you know, plug and play. You always have to work things around. Anyways, I'll come back to the hands in a sec. I want to make sure all of this is working how I'm wanting it to. Okay, and so this right here, I'm probably going to take the neck and actually separate it so that I can attach it to the body. We can have a better time figuring that out. So I'll split that off and then take this and the neck. Where are they? Right here. Move it down. Let me quickly save this and then I'm going to merge it down and Dynamesh it. Boom. Okay. Now let's start working on top of that, figuring out what it is we want to do with that. This one, push back. Yeah, actually, this would be kind of cool if we split that off. Yeah. There we go. This thing, go back here. Yeah, if you have any questions, like I'll check out chat in just a sec. Just kind of wanted to throw this down. Like a really messy sort of way. And this. We're gonna want to get like some heavy obliques in here though, so that we can support this. And give him a little bit of ab, just a little. Clean that up in a sec after we figure out everything else. And clip curve this. Go. So now we can shove in some legs. let's see. Hi, Dyson. I got a lot of chat to catch up on. Hey, Spike. Hold on. He lifts. Do I like use Sculptris on projects? And then what do I think about that option? I really enjoy the fact that I can use Sculptris Pro when I want to. I kind of like turn it on and off a lot, so I have it mapped to my A key, and I just kind of like turn it on and off when I need it. I don't use it for entire sculpts, other than that one. I did the Sculptris Pro Sphere challenge. Here, I'll show you guys. I'll bring it up on the screen while we wait, and I get over to talking about chat. So this was one of my Pixelogic streams as well when I did this guy. So that was all with Sculptris Pro, and I was only allowed to use Sculptris Pro, and I did it from a sphere. So that's a sphere inside of his skull, whatever it is. What's my song playlist? You can get them off of Pulse 8 on YouTube. Calling the gizmo to the center of the screen. You're moving things around, but you have to keep zooming everything to find this gizmo. I actually don't know about that. It kind of bothers me as well. I have problems with that as well. But what you can do if you're having like problems, let's say like your gizmo is off in like wherever space, click on your mesh and just click Alt on it. And you can bring your gizmo to like wherever on your mesh that you need it to be. And then if you want it to be centered into that mesh afterwards, you can, well, you can do that and then center it, and it'll be there. Yeah. Sorry, put the thing back if you're interested. Oh, if you're asking what's different with me, I'm like on the brink of getting sick, so I'm not like super trolly. I'm like, come on. We've got 3.5 hours. No, wait. 3 hours. A stray puff, baby. You want to say hi? Okay. You want to see? You want to see the boy? Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Yes, hello. Oh, come here. Yes, hello, baby. I'll answer chat with the boy. Yeah, don't feel dumb. Like, there's a lot of stuff in ZBrush that, you know, like, I say a lot, like, if you think you have a solution to something, there's probably another 10 to that same problem. So, like, yeah, there's, like, lots of different ways to do things. Hi, Dee, how are you? Hi, Mustafa. Hey, Seba. Oh, you liked Next Gen? That's awesome. I'm glad you liked it. Hey, Seagull. How's it going? Did I see the Z Modeler pencil? The one extrude fix hidden polygon? Get some troubles. Wait, do you use the Z Modeler pencil? I don't use the pencil. No, I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean by the pencil. Are you right? I don't know. What are you asking? How do you measure in ZBrush? Do you know how big the sphere is at the start when you create it? I don't think there's really like, I think there's like, you know, Shane has like a ruler you can use. I don't really know, like, I don't go by ZBrush measurements usually, and I'm not very like familiar with like 3D printing that much, so there are like tools to figure out that though, like in Z plugin. There's like this thing called like Scale Master, and you can like play with this to like figure out what kind of like you know, your scene scale and stuff, but I don't usually use stuff like that, but you can. Okay. No licking the tablet. Let Monty listen to Pulse 8. No. He likes classical music though. See a lot of artists make characters from scratch in ZBrush. Yeah, because it's fun. Hey Eduardo. Like a cube with the number. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about. Oh, I worked on Momo. I worked on oh my goodness. I worked on Rice. I worked on Pin. I worked on a whole bunch of like side characters. I worked on like the bullies. I worked on Molly. I worked on like the baby May. Like there's like a lot of them. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but I worked on a lot of stuff on next gen. Yeah, doggy. No worries. The puppy's name? This is Monty Bear. This is Monty. This is Monty. He's a good boy. Yeah, that the person who offers a scale ruler is Shane Olson. So if you're interested in that, you can go and check him out. Applying for a game dev job. Didn't realize till yesterday that ZBrush isn't listed as a requirement. Only Maya seems odd to me. I would have thought ZBrush pretty much applies to the modeling workflows now. Not always, especially if you're applying for like, you know, something hard surface related. If you're applying for like an environment job, you don't need to know ZBrush to do that kind of stuff. ZBrush is sort of like, it's a nice to have, but it's also like something that speeds up the workflow, but it's not something that you absolutely need to become a game artist. If you want to be a character artist and not just like a specific, you know, low poly stylized one, then I would definitely say that ZBrush is a need to have. It just depends on what exactly what kind of a game dev job you're applying to. White cube on a table. Yeah, it's a bread. It's a bread. When am I gonna sculpt a corgi? I don't know. I don't think I could ever make one as cute as him. Yeah, he looks like Bolt. Yeah. Inspire me for a good sculpt. Did I think about that before? Yeah, I've thought about like sculpting him, and then I'm just like, I don't know, like he's just so cute. He's just so cute, and I don't know if I could ever get this cuteness into one of my sculpts just because he's so cute. It's a fake bread, not a real French one. Hey, I'm in Montreal now. Don't you be saying that. The French Canadians know what's up when it comes to bread. We've got, yeah, this is the little bread. Yes. Okay. I sculpted him and it wasn't really good, like the first time I showed him on stream. Okay. Bring me some bread. Dude, I have all the bread that I'd ever want here. Don't even start with me. Okay? The French Canadians know what's up when it comes to bread. Do not try. Do not even try it. Do not. Good boy. Have I painted stuff? Yep. Yep. Your nephew lives in Montreal? Yeah, it's nice, right? It's really nice. I like it here. A corgi demon? No. No, I feel like I live with one all the time, so... Kidding, he's not a demon. Sometimes. Sometimes he is. Do I need to know any French if you want to move to Montreal? You got some games to so you've been checking out. No, you don't have to know French. I mean, I know enough French to get me through conversations, like, you know, basic conversations, but I don't, like, I'm not fluent at it. Like, I understand when somebody's talking to me, but I'm not very good at recalling words to talk back. But it's not like, you don't need to know French, but it's good to know, like, some things. Because a lot of people here speak both French and English. So, like, a lot of the times if, like, you know, you're having troubles with French, they'll just switch to English for you. But not everybody. There are a few people here, too, that only speak French. But if you're, like, staying inside of Montreal, like, in the city, you usually won't have many problems. You won't be struggling in the daily. No. I mean, yeah, like you'll have some issues like with food menus if you don't know basic stuff. And there's like some things that are just like purely French. Like if you don't know what like a pate is and stuff like that, like you're gonna have like issues. But you learn it, right? You learn it. I'm so sorry, I don't speak anything but English on these streets, that I can't read whatever that is. I guess that looks like it's Korean, but I'm not 100% sure. If it is, just I guess re-ask in English. Does it differ in cities? Yeah, like in Montreal, it's like French and English, but a lot of people speak English. And then once you leave the city of Montreal, but you're in Quebec, Quebec in general is mostly just French. And so if you're in Ontario though, and you're by the border of Quebec, then it's French and English, especially like Ottawa. And then you get to Toronto. Toronto is just English, everything English. No one really like speaks. I mean, there's going to be people like commuting, but for the most part, like everybody in Toronto is always like English, English, English. And then if you go even more along the coast, like from Quebec and then keep going to the coast, then you're going to get into like PI, and PI is like, it's like French, you know, like it just starts going like super French, and then you get to Newfoundland, and then Newfoundland's just their own language. Like they've got a whole other dialect of English over there. Yeah, Montreal is awesome. Making sculpting look so easy. Well, like when you do it a lot, it becomes pretty straightforward and really fun. All you need to know for food is yeah. Man, I've been eating way too many fries lately. Way too much. Way too much. Okay. All right. Thanks, Pershan. Am I coming out well? I don't know. I guess my dad knows. So does my brother. I'd say that's pretty well. What's occurring? We're sculpting like normal. You want to bite the bread? The bread butt? In the bread butt? Why? I'm just so confused. Oh my goodness. Also, I do apologize for my low energy tonight. I have the sick. avoid sugar though, or it'll get nullified. Oh, serious? Because I just made a ton of brownies last night when I was in like a mood. I was like in a horrible mood, and I just made like this massive sheet of brownies. So maybe I'm about to just get really sick then. Hey, Spoonie. Oh, you work along with me? That's so cool. That's so cool. You'll make up for my low energy with witty comments. Oh my god, do it. Do it. It makes the wings without a faintest resistance. More wings. Never got to grips with the Z-spheres? Well, like, I mean, okay, so the big thing to remember is just kind of drawing out with the draw tool, right? So you can create like a joint. Think of it kind of like a bone structure, right? Like that's how I use it, is I make like bone structures with this. I don't try to make really like anything else per se. And then I just drag it as I need it. That is my boy eating his bone. Sugar has nothing to do with growth. Yeah, I didn't know that sugar breaks down vitamin C. Does it actually? It's sugar that causes cold? Wait. Oh, when taken at the same time. So if you take vitamin C and then you don't let it metabolize and you take sugar, then it breaks it down. But wait, that doesn't make any sense because oranges have sugar, like natural sugars, and they're super high in vitamin C. But you get your vitamin C from oranges. This doesn't make any sense. What? I'm so confused. Hold on. Explain it. ZBrush for like over 2 months now. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to that for sure. Sugar is evil. I love sugar, but I can't have a lot of it. I actually like if I have too much sugar, then I get like really bad migraines. So I'm always that person, like when people like go out and like we're having like a pizza or something, everybody's like ordering like a Coca-Cola or they're like getting like a Sprite or something. I'm there like, yeah, diet please, or like Coke Zero or whatever, like no sugar. And people are like, really? You're like eating this entire pizza and you're worried about calories? I'm like, no, it's not that. If I drink a Coke, I'll have a splitting migraine and I won't be able to hang out anymore. So... Yeah, garlic's really good. Dude, I had pasta last night. I put like so much, the garlic, it was so garlicky. It was so garlicky. It's so good. Oh my god. Actually, I should probably take a break right now because I need to go to the bathroom because I just drank like a whole tea. Leave this guy. Wait, I'll leave like tiny mode, tiny him up here. And then I'll like, yeah. I'm gonna put the BRB on. There we go. Okay, I'll be back in just a few minutes. Wookie? Alright, sorry. He's going to go a little bit mental in a second. Maybe in like 10 minutes because Eric's on his way home. So I'm like getting myself ready. Getting myself ready to stop the bark fest, the barkening, the doggening. Alright. No, I actually just ate another piece of brownie. To be honest, I'll just be like real with you guys. I just like took a break to make a tea and eat another brownie. Cause dude, those brownies, oh, they're so good. I love brownies. Hey babies. You've been eating way too much chocolate. Dude, yeah, like the sheet of brownies that I made is like it was like a baking dish like this big. Like it was a big dish of brownies. Oh my god, this is gonna take me forever to get through. I'm just gonna be like 800 pounds by the end of it. I don't even care. It's worth. Oh, so good. Get that double chin on the go. Yeah, I know. It's bulking season. Whatever. You know, spring will come by and then I'll be like, oh, I feel pretty bad about myself. And then I'll just like go on like a workout binge again. And it'll be all good. It'll be like it never happened. It looks so stupid. You're making a shape like my head, but with ball eyes? Oh, nice. Yeah, if you guys ever, like, sculpt along or whatever, just, like, post it on Twitter when you're done and tag me. I'd love to see what you guys work on. Just hibernate through winter like a true Canadian. I mean, pretty much, like, I stopped waking up early. It just wasn't working. It wasn't working. I tried the whole, like, waking up at 5 a.m. thing, and it was working really well, and then all of a sudden, for like 2 weeks, while I was trying to do it after doing it successfully for a month, there was like so many people in the gym, which was like my main like driving force to wake up every day is like, oh, I gotta go to the gym. And so like it was sort of like this like staple. And then there were so many people in the gym in the mornings that I was just like unable to actually do my workouts, and I'd have to spend like an extra hour waiting. And it just ended up being like, no, screw this, like I'm sleeping in. Like, damn it, it was going so well, it was working so well. Whatever. The Doggening sounds like a good name of an indie film or an indie documentary. Yeah, like, Like when all the dogs in the neighborhood start going crazy at 5 p.m. because everybody's getting home from work, 5 p.m. to like 6 p.m. It's like all you can hear around this entire block is just like barking. There's just like so much barking that happens. I call it the doggening. Happens in the morning as well at around 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Just like so much barking because everybody's leaving for work. Scientific literature of glucose and vitamin C. Vitamin C is absorbed by both glucose and non-glucose processing tissues, but if anything, consuming vitamin C will lower your energy levels. Interesting. Interesting. You're working? Yeah. You're not hibernating. 28 weeks later, the doggening. Can't do the gym, that's why I got a snowboard pass. Oh dude, I wish I could snowboard. I'm like so clumsy. I went to Montreal. Oh man, this is like such an embarrassing story. Oh wait, hold on. Eric got home. Hey? Okay. One sec. Hi Ken, thank you. Appreciate it. Dognado, the barknado of all time. Oh my gosh. What's my Twitter? My Twitter is... I have to go to my Twitter to figure out what my Twitter is. It's so pathetic. A3_art. A3_art. You'll be able to find moi. Here, actually, here. This is my Twitter. Right here. Yeah, I was gonna talk about the skiing problem I had. Oh no. I'm not Pixelogic. I'm not Pixelogic. My Twitter is this. And speaking of not being Pixelogic, you should probably follow Pixelogic for other artists. But if you're interested in me personally, my Twitch, you can find at the bottom of the screen right here if you follow this bar. So it's creature and character concept sculpting with Ashley A. Adams, twitch.tv/A_cubed, and that's me. Because I'm not Pixelogic. I just stream here once a week. The embarrassing story though was I went to Montreal like a couple of years ago, and I was with friends and we were going to go skiing, and I was using borrowed equipment from them. They were nice enough to let me use borrowed equipment. It had been years since I had gone skiing. And I was like, oh, can I just like stay on like green hills? Like, I don't really know how to ski very well. Like, I'm not confident in my abilities, and like I couldn't really like do very much, and it didn't help the fact that it was we went on like a weekend where it was just like really really icy. Like, even my friends who were like really good at snowboarding had problems like stopping because it was so icy. And so there wasn't like a lot of snow, and so like this didn't really like help the fact that I was there skiing with very little experience anyways, but whatever. My friend was just like, oh, let's go up to you know, the top of the mountain. There's like a bunch of like green lines that you can take, like, you know, really easy ones. The green ones are the easy ones. Take those, and you can maybe even do a few blues if you're feeling zesty. And I was like, okay, all right. And you can do that like the whole way down the mountain. And I was like, okay, that's not gonna be bad. She was like, yeah, it'd probably take you like 30 minutes to get down the mountain. It's not too bad. It's like a really chill time. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, dope. I'll do that. And so like we took the thing up, and I was like, this is going for a while. This is a ride up the mountain. It's been more than 10 minutes in this thing. Like, cool. I don't know if I should be up here with this like this low level of skiing experience. All right. And so we were up there, and yes, there was like, you know, a green easy hill that I could take. And so like I started going down, and like even my friend had like a wipeout that was partially my fault on a ramp, because she was trying to like show me like which way to go. And then she ended up like crashing into like this gravel thing, had like this massive wipeout, and she couldn't stop either because it was like so icy. And so I was just like, the entire time I was like, pizza, let's not, like, don't die. And like my skis weren't grabbing onto anything because again it was like all ice. And so at this point started panicking a little. Definitely started panicking a little. I was trying my best not to fall. and let me just like give you like it took me like over an hour and a half to get down this mountain. It was so dumb. It was so bad. I was having such a bad time. And like it's something like I can laugh about, because it was like, why were you even up there in those conditions anyways? Like, what were you thinking? Why did you think that was a good idea? But there was a black hill with a whole bunch of moguls. Freaking, you know, the things that go like, you know, those bumps or whatever that the skiers like jump off of. Nobody was doing that because they're literally ice bumps. Like, they weren't snow bumps, they were ice bumps. So no one was doing it, but I couldn't stop. And it was like, here's the green side, you could go and take the green path. And then here's a double black diamond one that you can take, and guess where my skis led me. Fun. So I kind of like slid down that, and I had to like crawl my way up like this super steep like hill to try and get back up, because there's no way that I was gonna make it down that black route. And my friend was able to like get down the hill and everything, down the mountain at the end of it, and she was fine, but she also took the black route, I think. Oh man. And so then I was on my own, and I was like trying to like go down the green by myself, and then that turned into a blue. And then this one area, like nobody was really doing it too because it was so icy. Then there was this one area, if you've been to Montreal, you might know. Well, there's like a few of them where they go down on like a fairly steep like decline, and then it does like a turn. Right? And so like if you had like a bunch of snow, if you had powder, like that's great. Like you can easily stop. You just like pull your skis to the side, and you saw like I've done it 100,000 times before, like when I used to ski a lot. But then like this time there's no snow, it's all ice. Guess who flies off of a cliff and has this person come out of like this like shed that was right there, because they have people like in the area making sure that nobody like flies off of the cliffs. Like the little cliff thing. I flew off the cliff. One of my skis fell off. I was hanging on. It was like a good, like, you know, 15-foot drop or whatever. I was just hanging on there, and the guy comes out and he's like screaming at me in French, and he helps me up, and he's just like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Oh, great. I got my other ski somehow. My pole's gone. I don't know where my pole went, but who cares? Let's fall all the way down the rest of this like ice death trap." And I did, and I had like my whole like side of my body was bruised by the end of it, and I haven't been skiing since. I like to sit in my room and sculpt. It's safe away from the ice. Oh man. Yeah. But I can tell you though, like after something like that, after after bruising a whole side of your body and then getting into a hot tub afterwards, it's probably one of the most amazing things. It's like, oh thank goodness. Oh thank goodness. But yeah, you can believe me, like right after that I was like, oh yeah, I still have like half a day left on these skis, on these ski rentals and everything, and I was like, nope, putting it back, just putting it right back, and I'm done. I'm done for the trip. I'm done. Had a great time. I learned that I will never go skiing when it's that icy ever again. Oh man. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I had a few close calls with death that day. And to be honest with you, as much as I was hurting while I was going down this going down the mountain, and I kept like wiping out because of the ice, I was still laughing at it. I was still laughing the entire time, because it was just like, dude, what is going on? Why did I do this? Why did I do this? And the more I hurt myself, the more I laughed. It was bad. It's like, today's the day I'm gonna die, isn't it? So there you go. That's my ski story. Sounds fun. There was like there was an element of fun to it, right? Because it's like it was so like, dude, what are you doing? Like why are you taking on like these insane hills, you know? Like why is this happening? But the thing is, like, a lot of it was out of my control because of how icy it was, and because I was literally like a beginner skier, it was not like I couldn't do anything about it. So I just like was like, you know what I'm really good at doing now? What I'm really good at doing is I can tell you that I'm very good at wiping out. Like like there's like a skill that you can have, wipeout skill, you know? How to hurt yourself the least when you fall down on ice. I'm very good at that. So there's a positive that you could take that I could take from all of that. But yeah, that was fantastic. What a time. And it's also like a pretty funny story to tell too. Like, hi, I flew off of a cliff in Montreal. How to bail safely is a legit skill. Yeah, like, and I learned that. I was learning it as it was happening. I was like, what is the best way to fall where I'm not gonna like destroy myself? Because it was just happening. It's like, how as a beginner skier are you expected to stop on ice? Like, you need, I don't know, like it was, I saw a lot of people wiping out that day too. Not to say that I had more of an excuse to wipe out, but I'm just saying like a lot of people were wiping out. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I've also got like a lot of other near-death experiences too, from like when from boating and like and biking. Oh my god, dude. Dirt biking. Oh man. Oh, good stuff. Or even just hiking. Like when I went to Whistler in Blackcomb, I was hiking in the mountains, and in Whistler they had like all of the ski trails. This is the summertime. They had all the ski trails closed off. I was with Eric at the time, and they had all the ski trails closed off because obviously they're too steep and stuff for people to be hiking on. But somehow when we were walking around, we found, like, it seemed like a legit path. Like, we were just following something that seemed like a legit path, and we found ourselves in a restricted area that was cut off. We were like, oh cool, like, how did that happen? Like, how did that happen? I thought we were just following a legit path. No, it wasn't legit at all. And we couldn't turn around because it would have taken too long to come back from the way we came before they closed down the mountain, and the trolley things that were going up, I can't remember what they're called, that they wouldn't be running anymore. So we had to figure out another way down so that like, it was getting late, like the sun was starting to like do its thing, you know? And so we were like, oh crap, like we gotta go, like we gotta go, we gotta book it. Because at this point we were at the top of Whistler, like 7th Heaven, and the only way up to 7th Heaven is you have to take the lift, right? Like you can't just like hike there from what I know anyways, and it makes sense because it's just, everything is just steep. And so what we ended up doing is, because we couldn't come back from the where we came, is we started like scaling down the mountain in like a restricted area, because there was no sign saying we weren't supposed to be there, and we only found out like afterwards too that it was just like really not okay that we were there. But it's like, dude, like, if it's really not okay, then how come you didn't have signs? You know? And yeah, we were just, we had to do, you know, a little bit of rock climbing and skidding down shale and stuff. And it was the sun was starting to do its thing, and it was cool. Luckily, no one died. But it was an experience. It was an experience, all right. Very loose rocks on Whistler, though. It's very dangerous. Long fingers, you know me. You know me, I like me some long fingers. Long toes. Probably turn these into like some nasty claws. Yeah, the T-bar early season, yeah. Yeah. You should know more gizmo tricks? What do you mean? My subconscious is like, challenge accepted, and discreetly moved me to the harder routes. I honestly, like, I feel like there's like a part of me that does that. I feel like it makes for good stories, though. It's like, hey, look how stupid I was. I didn't try to be. I guess there's something to say, like, hey, look, I'm still alive, though, so... when the adrenaline kicks in. You love trespassing. I don't know. Like, they didn't have any signs up, and it was just like, you just keep walking, and I don't know, man, whatever. Whistler and Blackcomb are beautiful, though. Absolutely gorgeous. You should go if you have the chance. Scaling the shale, yeah. Yeah. Want to go Whistler Bike Park? Gotta get proper bike for it, though. Oh, they do bike rentals there as well, if you're interested. When I was there, I was really tempted. Like, I really wanted to, but I ended up not doing it, and I just hiked it instead, which is fine. Totally fine. Totally fine, especially with what ended up happening. So, no complaints. Yeah, some of the Whistler bike paths, like the Black Diamond ones, though, be very careful, because the reason why it's Black Diamond is just because, like, the entire thing is just shale. Like, it's literally just shale. That's all it is. And they've got, like, these super tight turns, so of course it's gonna be Black Diamond, because you're basically trying to avoid death the entire time. Like, but when I was on Blackcomb, though, not Whistler. Whistler has, like, the death traps. Blackcomb has some, like, really nice paths, because they've got, like, you know, it's more of like a foresty experience, whereas, like, Whistler is, like, rocky. Did I start with a base mesh? No, like, I started with a sphere, and then these, like, the arms and the legs are insert body parts, insert body IMM. Body Bag Bowl is just past 7th Heaven, where they do a lot of filming in Whistler. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love Whistler. We went white water rafting as well. That was really cool. We went on a pretty intense trip as well, through a lot of really, like, intense rapids. That was pretty sick. We went glacier water diving, which was also very, very sick. But wow, my body was hurting after that. My body was like, yo, dude, what did you just do? Because I was, like, holding on for dear life the entire time. Like, my paddle was like, yo, okay, come on. Don't tip, don't fall over. But it was good. Hey Christoph, how you doing? How's it going? What's a creepy monster today? This thing, whatever this is. A-line all the way on bike. Fun in the winter. If you sneak in. Well, I haven't been biking in such a long time. I feel like I'd kill myself. Hey George! George, sorry. How you doing? Just some UV mapping. Fun. Fun. So fun. Ugh. UVing. That's all I can say to that. I get so tired of UVing so quickly. But I know it's necessary when you're doing your models. But still, ugh. think I'll also do another one of these. Whoops. Hey, what's going on? Did I have selected this one? Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, stop it. Stop that. Some dark inside of myself when I'm making creepy stuff like this. Yeah, I guess there's like a demon inside of me, huh? I need to be exorcised. I'll just leave it like this for now, and then I will hit that after. All right, this guy. I'm going to take that. Take his bottom jaw. Right, like so. And then I'll also take that. And then we can play pork. This one, like here, and down, play. Ever have to make a muscular and skeletal sculpt for a piece of mine to be animated? No, I've never had to do that, but I think it would be very interesting if I ever did. It'd be very interesting work. Alright, then do that, Seagull. Go, explore the world. Pay a lot for this software? The thing that's great about ZBrush is it's a one-time payment, and then you don't have to worry about paying for upgrades or anything like that. How do you insert IMMs? Well, once you select an IMM brush, right? So if you were to go to something here that's already in the native ZBrush, like let's say we take IMM parts, we want to put a screw into him or something like that, and then you just drag. And then it masks off the other part of the mesh, and you can kind of like move this around wherever you want it. So that's how you insert mesh. Needs more exercise. I need exercise. Here for the wings. Oh my god. Corky bark! Been getting into ZBrush this year. You find it incredibly exhausting. Addictive but exhausting compared to everything else you do. Anybody else find that? I think it's because you're not used to the interface. It is a very different interface, but once you give it the time, it ends up being a lot easier to get through. It becomes almost like second nature, just like everything else. But if you're comparing it to Maya, like I can tell you, like, yeah, it's probably because it's so different from that. Hey, Okan. 1:30 a.m. right now. Oh my god. I mean, you probably should go to sleep. It's late. I'm listening to the channel Pulse 8 on YouTube. They're free some of the stuff is like Creative Commons, so that's what I'm listening to. So that we don't get muted. Do I ever use surface noise on the for the skin? Yes, I do. Not for this part though. I save that way later because like I don't have my forms done at all. ZBrush at college, but no. Oh yeah, no. If you could get your hands on ZBrush, like you're definitely gonna enjoy that. Made the muscles so quick. Okay, so the thing is though, like I know for a fact that this wouldn't be accurate to how stuff should look. Or you know, even functionality wise. So afterwards, if I actually do enjoy this concept, what I would do after getting all of the forms out, because I am aware that a lot of this probably wouldn't work, what I would do is I would go and look at references of, you know, of anatomy from animals and people to try and figure out how to make something like this work better and make the attachments work better. But right now, this is what I'm gonna have just for like form and flow, but it would probably benefit in the long run of like, you know, all concepts if you're working at it seriously from actually referencing. But because this is just sort of like a quick stream, sort of like what I'm doing right now, so you know, making muscles quickly, if you understand the basics, is not hard, but making them right usually requires reference. Even if you're a master, you're going to want to be referencing just so that you get something that is really functional. But I always say functionality comes after everything else in my books. You can always add functionality in design. It's harder to state like, you know, push on top of something that's really functional and looks ugly. So if you have something like really like, you know, you like the design of something and then you put afterwards, you start adding in functionality, ends up being better in my opinion. It's a better way to work for me anyways. My skin using service mode when you get excited. You learn a lot? Oh, that's great to hear, Kevin. I'm glad that it's like, it's worth it. I'm really glad to hear that. Okay, well, proportions are definitely the first place that you should start when learning anatomy, in my opinion. You know, you don't have to get into like all the individual muscles like when you're first starting out. I'd say that you definitely want to try to look at overall shapes in relation to one another, just to try and figure out what, you know, like how big is the torso, like how many heads can you fit across a shoulder, that kind of thing, and just kind of, you know, get your basics in proportion before you start diving into muscles. I think that's very important because when you're thinking about design and reading silhouettes, the first thing that anyone sees when looking at a design is the overall form, the silhouette, right? So if I were to go, even without you realizing it, this is what your brain picks up at first. This is what your brain picks up, is the silhouette of something. What is the readability of it, right? This is step one. If you can get this good, then you're on your way to working out other things. This is proportion, right? Proportion, I mean, there's other things that come into play with this, such as, you know, negative and positive space, and shapes and things like that, but your proportion is a big one. So if your silhouette, the proportion in silhouette works, then that is your first step, your first read. You've got that in the bag, and then you can start figuring out, okay, so now that the arm is proportionate, or now that the face is proportionate, where do I put everything, and how does that work within those proportion constraints, right? Once you have all of that figured out, then you can start trying to break the rules, such as adding in muscles that maybe aren't in a human to create something weird, because you understand how muscles work and you understand proportions of certain muscles and why they are the way that they are. But you have to like break it down into simple steps. Figure out what's the simplest thing to focus on first, and then build on that. Learning, I think, is best in layers, as everything art you do in layers. I tell everybody, it's just work with layers, you know, learn in layers. Think of everything like life as like a sandwich, you know, you start with the basics, just like your plain piece of bread. It can be a nice piece of bread, doesn't have to be a bad piece of bread, but you got to start with something really basic, and then you can start adding on top of that, because once your foundation is strong, then everything that you lay on top of that will be that much better and shine that much brighter and make that much more sense, as long as you understand the fundamentals. So I would say start with something simple, start with your proportions, make sure that you're getting those proportions solid, and then work with your muscles individually on top of that, and just work slowly so you understand what you're doing, because like, you know, anatomy is it's a lifelong learning process. You're not going to be able to draw just a couple of people, a couple of you know, you're not going to be able to copy a couple medical illustrations where they've got the muscles laid out and all of a sudden you're going to know it. That's not how it works. I think, you know, it's something that you're constantly learning through the rest of your life. Like, you're gonna, like, you know, when arms are positioned in a certain way, the way muscles look change. It's really crazy. And there's just different body types, and everything is just something that you're going to be learning for the rest of your life. So get that foundation solid, and then you can add on top of it for the rest of your life. What's the concept this week? Big bellied bat demon. Yeah, pretty much. Oh man. No worries, rude boy. Have a great evening. I'm sorry if I missed you. If you Dynamesh, how do you avoid the hole in the middle to disappear? Well, because they aren't super close to each other. Now, if I were to Dynamesh at a low resolution, a lot of this would merge together. But because I would be working at a higher resolution, a lot of this wouldn't combine together. Another thing that you can do, if you're okay with it, is polygroup certain things, but then... And you can Dynamesh by polygroup, and then they won't intersect, but I don't really recommend that. Another thing you could do is separate this in half, right? Like you could also, like if this was like really close, what you could do is take off symmetry and then hide half of it, Dynamesh this after deleting the hidden, and then mirror and weld it. That's another one you could do. But at this point, you'd probably want to just like Z-remesh and then work on subdivision levels. Are we back to talking about food again? Oh my god. You're making basic skeleton, basic muscle sculpt. How you learned anatomy? Is this a good way? Oh yeah, I think I talked about this. Like if you've got your proportions down pat, then I would say sure. When you say basic muscle, you know, like how are you, like what are you talking about? I wouldn't, so the way that I think and learn and work is I wouldn't tackle an entire body and proper muscles and skeleton right off the bat, right? Like if you haven't done any anatomy work prior to this, that's not something that I would do. Now, maybe, you know, you might learn a different way, you might work a different way, but what I've found works for me, and dude, I wish I knew this when I was in school, because, like, it would have made my life way easier, is figure out, you know, which parts do you want to start on first. So today, I'm going to work on the skull. You know, you pick a skull, and then you just learn the skull, right? You learn the proportions of the head first, you do a bunch of, you know, quick head studies, and then you look at the skull, and then you start figuring out the muscles of the skull, you know, of the face, and then work on another part of the body, and then another part of the body. Spend like a week on each part of the body, and so you're not working on the entire thing all at once, because there's so many things to know with the muscles, and it's so hard to retain if you're just doing the entire thing. If you want to do entire thing, what I would say is don't focus on muscle and bones right off the bat. Focus on gesture. I would do gesture drawings. If you can draw, then like gestural stuff is really great for learning proportions and just like how things move, and just studying that, because gesture is something that's so important when it comes to an overall like immediate read of animals and humans. So yeah, it's just it's really hard to just like kind of like, you know, do the first, like, you know, just do the entire thing right off the bat. Like I really wouldn't recommend that. It kind of overloads your brain, and it doesn't make it fun. You know, if you're doing like a really stiff study, like that's not fun at all. Like if something is just like standing there in T-pose and you're like trying to put muscles on it, or like even if you're like copying a drawing of like a medical thing and you're just like, oh, and this muscle goes here, like that's boring. You know, you're not really like, you're not learning like it's not an interactive learning experience, you're just copying. And that's why I say gesture is so important. So when you're doing like individual parts of the body, when you're studying from individual parts of the body, like you grab like an arm, for example, and you spend the week doing an arm, you can do different positions of the arm, you know, gesture with the hand and things like that, and it becomes a lot more artistic, and it'll stick a little bit better, because then you're going to start learning interactively, you know, when things are in certain positions, they look different in, you know, different ways, and the proportions will stick in your head a lot better too, because if you have something straight, how are you supposed to remember the proportions that way? If you have things that are bending and twisting and things, it just kind of like sticks in your head. Now, again, this is the way that I have found works for me, is doing it like this. And it's a lot more fun. right? Because you feel like you're creating something, you're not just copying something, you're creating something. So I would say focus on individual parts of the body. And then once you have the basics of everything and you've, again, like this is going to take some time, don't expect to do something anatomically accurate right off the bat. But, you know, a couple months in of doing your studies and you'll be able to do a full body thing, and it will be pretty good because you'll have a really great understanding of each thing and how it works together. The final goal, after working on individual body parts, is to then homogenize it, right? How do you put them together? And that in itself is its own task, which is why I say, you know, focusing on smaller parts to begin with and then thinking of the big picture of anatomy afterwards can actually benefit you. But at the very, very beginning of everything, you're going to want to think about proportion. So overall body proportion. If you draw, this makes it a lot faster, right? Because then you can draw gesturally and figure out body proportions that way. But if you're doing sculpting, yeah, I would say just line it up with pictures, try and figure out your proportions, keep going into silhouette mode. I'm glad you enjoy it, Sam. No worries, Taro. Thank you so much for hanging out. The hardest part about anatomy is not just knowing the names, but understanding how certain parts affect another in a particular pose with muscle fast. You know, exactly. Like, there's so much to know. You know, you might be like, oh, well, you just look at yourself and it doesn't really, like, look like there's a lot going on. There's so much going on underneath everyone's skin that you can't see happening. And it's pretty intense. Like, something like this, it's like, you know, he doesn't really have much of a layer of skin over top of him, does he? Right? So, most things when, you know, like with human bodies, you would, a lot of artists, you know, beginning with anatomy, they just kind of like leave it at this stage, or even like even more shredded. And it's like you don't have your fat and skin on top of it to actually make it look like that, like, you know, look like human. And that's another aspect of anatomy that you need to focus on and learn about as well, is how do muscles look underneath skin and fat, because you're not going to see every single muscle group, especially on somebody who doesn't, like, maybe doesn't work out at all, right? Like, you're literally just going to see forms. And that's why I say, again, proportion is the most important thing over everything to learn first, because if you're working on a character that maybe has never gone to the gym before, right, and your proportions are all wrong and you see like crazy muscles everywhere, and it's just like, no. No. Hey Jose, how are you doing? No worries, I'm glad that it's helping. Learn by how muscles work, like where the connections, actions, how it contracts. So put your suggestions in as well. Yeah. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, again, like everybody's gonna learn differently. I just find that the way that I find works for me is what I told you. You know, you're gonna have to find what works for you. I need something very, very interactive. I get bored very quickly of working on things that I'm just like copying. Like I need to feel like there's some sort of like gesture work or something going into it. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. I'm really glad you like it, Jose. The shortcuts that I use for my brushes, if that's what you mean, it's I put them on the 1 through 0 keys. That's why I have like, so I have my brushes kind of like swapping back and forth so quickly. And then I also have Sculptris Pro on the A key. Do I texture my models to sell to clients? Yeah, so if I have a client, it's usually like, it's gonna be like one of two things. It's either I'm working on the full model, so that includes textures, or I'm just like a concept artist and I'll just be like doing a sculpt and then handing it off to them for, you know, maybe they're doing like just a pitch of some kind. And it's not like, you know, approved or anything like that. It's just like a quick, like, hey, let's pitch this idea and maybe get it funded. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just like, I'm going from A to B to C, D, all the way to Z. If you catch my drift. But I don't just straight up like make a model, texture it and everything, and then just be like, okay, who wants to buy it? Like, that's not, no, I don't do that. No, this one's no reference. This is just for fun. All the sculpts that I do on the Pixelogic channel are just sort of like for fun out of my head. Thanks, Eduardo. The last one that we did on stream was also like demon-like. This one, I kind of want to use the same lantern. I want to see if like I can... Actually, that would be kind of fun. Let's see. See if I can use the same lantern as the one that I did the last one. It probably doesn't fit though. It doesn't work very well in this context. Ah, shit. Why did I do that? Bummer. Okay. Alright, hold on. Well, I brought these in at the very bottom anyways, so I can... Yeah, I'll just... Dang it. Alright, let me, like, merge all of them back together. Shouldn't have done that. That was my mistake. There we go. And then one of these guys. Oh! Oh! What is this? These kids can be like lower than the other one. I don't know. They're just like, what, hanging from his horn? Now they float and they fit in the same universe. Boom, easy peasy. Bro monsters, yeah. He or she, both. Cinematic universe of lantern demons. We'll call it Within the Flames. How many years have I been doing this job? Oh, you mean 3D? I started doing 3D stuff like 5 years ago. Can't be afraid of the dark since these guys will now light their way into your nightmares. Hey Benito! How are you doing? One lantern to rule them all? No, it's not one, it's multiple. Oh yeah, chains would definitely. Let's see if we can get a chain IMM, because I'm lazy. Bad King! Let's go. Let's go, Bad King. Let's go. There she is. We've got a chain brush. We'll get that one. We'll download this one. Yep. You understand, A-Cube, now that you know my name. Oh, yeah. Okay. Download that. Give me that chain. Give me it. Okay, I gotta put this into like a folder. Put it in his... no, I should probably put it in my brush folder. Brushes, there we go. There we go. In there. Alright. Let's load her up. Load her up. Give me that. Alright, which chain should we use? Anchor chain, thick chain. Thick. Bloop. Oh, look at how nice that is. So easy. Oh my goodness. Alright. Okay. Right there. Great. Excellent. Oh, so cute. And oh my gosh, we're accessorizing him. He's looking so accessorized. This doesn't look 100% straight. There we go. That was getting at me. Duplicate this. Scan. Where are you? Well, I guess we're gonna have to put these guys on the same thing. That's okay. Does this come with polygroups? Dang it. Alright. Well then, can we auto group it? Yeah, we can. Goodbye. Delete hidden. Oh my goodness, look how easy. Delete. Oop. Okay, well, same thing. I'll just delete that. And we can bring the same thing over. Duplicate. Mirror. This guy's gotta come back. Oh wow. Oh wow. A demon who knows how to accessorize. Yeah. Hi Michael, how are you? That chain, you bad king. That sounds so bad. Go back to the chain brush, yes, and here let's do something. Nope. Here, let me try a little bit more like this. Should try and get that snap off. Does it have snap on? Yeah, it does. Oops. Dang it. Dang, okay. Okay, I don't know why it's being so incredibly annoying right now. Usually I can get this in like one go, but it's because I'm streaming that I'm making this look awful. There we go. There it is. No, you know. There we go. There we go. Haha! Okay, I'm just gonna do this individually. I don't even care. Whatever. Split. I don't even need to do this. I don't even need to. Oh, okay. That's probably why I was like freaking out, is because I have this on. I have it on like this. Get out of here. Get out of here. Sometimes it's okay to cheat like this. You need it to get just get in there, you know? Just need it to get in there, especially if it's for concept. Just get it in there. Just get it in there. Instead of actually like sculpting, I'm just like placing chains around. Heck yeah. Oh man. Oops. Okay, you know what? No. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, there we go. I'll answer chat in just a sec. I just wanted to get the chains done and out of the way. Even though it's totally not a necessary part of this entire thing, but you know me. Gotta accessorize my boys. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna save, because I haven't really been saving, so... Hi, Eric. Hi, Jaggle. What are we doing? Making another lantern demon. You know, lantern demons. The patience of a professional snowboarder. Yeah, well, apparently just the patience and not the actual skill, right? Switch to a different 3D program. Do you do all of your modeling in ZBrush? So I do all of my, when do I switch to another 3D program? When I have the sculpt done, then or at least like the main proportions done, then I switch over to something like Maya, and I retopologize that, and then I bring it back in to ZBrush, and I keep working with it like that. Usually I don't like completely 100% finish in ZBrush and then 100% go over to Maya. Usually it's just like a back and forth thing that I do. I find to get my best results that way. Well, thank you, Eric. Little demon baby to be hanging out of its weird little stomach. Ew. Hi, Mirmayolo. Mirmayolo. Gotcha. Bling is important. It is. Hi, Idik. Am I gonna make those twisted? Like there is wind? No wind. No wind. Just straight down. Guys were looking at me, looking at me doing the struggle. What's his name? Is he a good boy? He's a great boy. He's the best boy. He's top of his class. Top of his demon class. On his way to being Satan himself. I said it right. There we go. Hi, Hellcat. S-Class. S-Class Demon Boy. Man, I'm hungry. I am a hungry hippo right now. 30 more minutes for this stream. We'll see how far we get. No pressure to finish though. No pressure. Kinda went a little bit ridiculous with the lanterns. I didn't need to do that. I could have just like finished the stupid sculpt first. But you know me. You know. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. It's late anyways, so I'll just snack. I'll just eat a brownie, another brownie. Oh my god, we have so many brownies. How long have I been working on this? Just this stream. Just this stream. Class ring. Jeff the Demon. Jeff the Demon, he's working his way up to Satan. It'd be weird if it's heart pulsating there. See, the thing is, like, he's got 2 rib cages, right? He's just got 2 rib cages and it comes out into his stomach. So a heart and its chest hole. Oh my god. Jeff the Demoni. Oh man. Now he's a rapper with all his bling. All that bling. I'm gonna finish giving him some nails. Oops. Oh, whoops. I always do that. Focal shift, go back to 0. Oh, my stomach's making the grumblies that only hands can satisfy. Oops. He's got those acrylics, you know? He's got them acrylics. This girl got claws. Oh my goodness. Where did you get those? Oh my goodness. Okay, and I think I need to create just a couple, like one more thing right here. Ooh. Ooh, okay, I didn't think I'd like that tangent, but I like that tangent. Wow. Yeah, I kind of really like the wings, like, kind of just... Okay. give it some kind of like an arc. Like this. Same with this. Make it higher. Wait. That. Nope. Nope. Sometimes I have like issues just selecting the one thing if my brush is too big. Like so. Go. Yeah, and then this can come out like so. But then still maintaining that continued line. The ZBrush brushes on an island that slowly closes in on them until one day only one survives. Will definitely be the snake hook. We need a catchy title. Oh, for that movie? For a movie if you put all the ZBrushes on one island? Just a few meters away. It is, but it's also a half an hour away. They're going to make VR version of ZBrush? I don't know about that. I honestly don't know. I don't think the technology is good enough right now. Coincidence or calculated coincidence? Coincidence, for sure. Okay, let's save. I'm also gonna make you guys like really uncomfortable and tell you I have to pee right now. I have to pee and I'm hungry. It's hard. It's a hard life. There we go. Ewy, 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 ewy. Such a conundrum. Such a conundrum. Bork! Monty! Quiet. Upper between, you would like to see upper between the legs like a gorilla's character and the hole bigger? A gorilla's character and a bigger hole? What do you mean by that? Wish I understood. Bigger hole. I want a bigger hole. Like a keyhole? Maybe it's the keyhole demon. Maybe it's the keyhole. Keyhole demon. I really gotta pee. I really have to pee. Like, I can't hold it in anymore. I can't. I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna be right back. I'll put him over here so that you guys can check him out while I am doing my thing. All right. Okay, I'll be right back. I can't hold it. Look, there we go. No, I do know I do know. He was right there at the door when I came in. Oh, good puppy hugs. Good puppy hugs. A heart shape in general? Does it? I mean, that's kind of cool if it does. That wasn't intentional. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it, Free Shrek. Thank you so much. Does it look like it's smiling? Yes. He's a happy demon. Because he's top of his class. He's on his way to Satanism. Here we go. Go on. Go on. It's like, how fast can I get these legs in before we're done streaming today? Oh my god. There we go. There's Dynamesh. So all these toes, did they meld together? Yeah, it's okay if they melded together though. So we're just gonna sculpt on top of it. Hey Ralph, thank you. You meant not that hole? Not this hole? What hole are you talking about? Welcome to Dark Souls Infinite. Oh my god. Dark Souls Eternal. The cursed lantern demon. Why has he gotta be cursed? Maybe he's blessed. Maybe the lanterns are his last little bit of light left in him until he turns full demon. This is where I would use like Sculptris Pro to just kind of like lower the density a bit so I can shape it more. And then I would use Sculptris Pro again afterwards, something like this. Kind of add back some geometry if I need it. But usually I just kind of keep it something like that. It's easy. Oops. Hey, Seba! Okay, hold on. Sorry, let me look at the... Oh man, what's going on? That is a big guy. He is a big guy. It's like a teacher's pet. Yeah, there's a lot of abdomen. There's lots of abdomen going on there. None of his blessings. I want all of that blessings. Hey Snake, how are you? You have to pay subscription to Twitch with Amazon? No, you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to pay subscriptions to Twitch. No, no. If you want to talk on Twitch, you can do it completely free. An apple a day makes the package okay. Who is this? Hi Key. Hello. Good front butt. Oh yeah, get that front butt. Front butt. You can learn some anatomy just by watching what's going on. Oh, thank you, Pre-Drag. Yeah, like a lot of it's just kind of become second nature, but I also know that a lot of it's wrong. It's just sort of like, you know, I would, if I wanted to continue this afterwards, I would use reference. I would go and double check my anatomy, and I want to reiterate that to everybody who thinks that they've got like these solid anatomy skills. Like, you will realize when you look at more anatomy reference that even stuff that you would have practiced over and over again, there's parts of it that you would have been like, oh shoot, I would have got this if I was referencing, right? But because this is just like a quick thing that I'm doing out of my head, it's okay that some of the anatomy is wrong, because I know that if I were going to take this into a further state, of course I would be using reference and creating a stronger you know, build, right? Like it would actually make sense, more sense. Because I do know that some of this is wrong. It's just sort of, what can I get down fast and out of I guess muscle memory. Haha, muscle memory for muscles. This demon is taken. Yeah, he's dating this other like this angel chick. He's not supposed to. His daddy keeps telling him don't. Like, the angel girls, they're no good for him. You know? He wants to sin, and she's telling him no, we must wait until the sanctity of marriage, and he's all like, but I'm a demon, and she's just like, yeah, but I'm an angel. But their love keeps them together through all of it. Maybe when he graduates his demon school, because he's at the top of his class, she'll see differently. Attach bus to your bus, it might work. Yeah, just put buses. Oh, you just want some bus. Oh, you're answering a question? Wait, you can sculpt more than a bust. How to add some appendages to your biz. You can't sculpt more than a bust? Well, I'd say work on figuring out like your overall proportions to things. Next level stuff. Oh god, is the Blender Kool-Aid Man here again? Can we not? We're on the Pixelogic channel. Like, if you want to know my thoughts about it and everything, I'd be more than willing to talk about it on my channel, which, by the way, if you'd like to follow my channel is twitch.tv/a_cubed. I'll be streaming there a lot more this month when I have the time. But I won't be streaming here on the Pixelogic channel anymore for the month of December. This is my last December stream, so if you do want to catch my streams, follow me over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/a_cubed. You can find it at the bottom of the screen right here. If you follow the pink and blue bar right here, Creature and Character Concept Sculpting with Ashley A. Adams, and then it says my URL, twitch.tv/a_cubed. So you can follow me there, and I'll be streaming there for the rest of December. That's awesome, Clan. I'm glad to hear it. Close up of the head. There's not really much going on with it, honestly. Just some quick strokes. Again, this is like conceptual, right? Like, so we don't have like tons of detail going on, but it's literally just this. Just some wacky shapes and stuff. Thanks, only kinda sorta. Thanks, Harith. New fanfic, yeah. Backface masking? Yeah, definitely use some backface masking with when you're using like tools like clay buildup. Good, it makes you uncomfortable. That's good. Alright, we didn't put any membranes in the wings, but that's alright. That's fine. We got most of it knocked out. So now we're at the end of our stream. I'm gonna lay this guy out, and then I'll show you guys what I was working on my stream and tell you guys to go and follow my own personal stream. Got this right here, and then we can give him, I guess, a side view. You'd hate to hear the sound those feet make when walking across the floor, probably like nails on chalkboard. That's the thing. He never walks. He just floats. Oh man. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we made today. Fun stuff. Fun. Lots of fun. You drink ZBrush tea and force yourself to drink it? Yeah, same. Okay, yeah, so if you guys are interested in me, again, you can follow my stream, twitch.tv/a_cubed. I'm working on, like, right now I'm working on something completely different than this, and I'll show you that right now. What I'm working on my own stream is this. This is Panty and Stocking. I think some of you might know the anime. So I'm posing them right now, like, you know, it's really not posed at all, but I'm working on it anyways. So working on these girls on my stream if you're interested in that, and then probably moving on to some other things as well. It's more project based on my stream. Occasionally I'll do one-offs as well. It just kind of depends on my mood and what I'm feeling zesty or spicy, you know what I mean. Some days I feel like monsters, some days I feel like cartoony things, whatever, you know. So I like doing a bunch of different stuff, so if you're into a bunch of different stuff, then come follow me. Here, I'm gonna say it again, you should probably follow me on twitch.tv/a_cubed. Say it with me, everyone. No, okay. Alright, and if you haven't already, please follow Pixelogic. There's a lot of amazing artists that stream here every single week, pretty much every single day, it seems like. And you're going to be able to learn a lot of different methods of doing things. The next person up today, actually, in an hour from now, is Steven Anderson is going to be live. And he's going to be doing environments with character as he normally does. So you should definitely check him out. He's got a lot to offer. He's a nice person and a very good artist. And yeah, if you like ZBrush as well, you can also download the free trial on the Pixelogic website. You get 45 days for free of just pure ZBrush fun. So definitely check that out. And also, a final reminder, if you didn't hear me say it like 800 times, follow me on my Twitch channel, a_cubed. And you can catch me for the rest of December because I won't be streaming here anymore for the rest of this December. So it was a great year with you all, and I'll see you in the new year if you aren't watching my streams on my channel, which is cool. If not, and if you are, then I'll see you around there. Okay? Alright, cool. Have a great rest of your evenings and or mornings, wherever you're from, and I'll see you around. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Bye-bye!